Rui Hachimura has an armory with the potential to take the NBA world by force. With a gracious, polished jumper, he loves to create space in the mid-range before elevating and shooting over defenders. Rui is in his element in the open court, with the confidence to grab a rebound and push the ball himself in transition, gliding coast to coast. Rui also has a high motor, often seen pushing the pace with end-to-end rim running. Watch as he bunny hops here, in eagerness to get down the court, immediately taking off as soon as he sees his teammate secure the rebound. Rui racks up easy points in transition like this so often, by anticipating opportunities and busting a gut for outlet passes. Notice how he's already scooting towards the opposite half as he predicts that Westbrook will get the rebound, before sprinting up the court before anyone else for the easy slam. Rui's handle is tight enough to create his own shot. He ably blends crossovers, spins, in and out and hesitation moves. Here, a cute crossover move gets him by his defender, and it's an easy bucket around a non-rim protector in Nikola Jokic. If he moves decisively, Rui's first step is quick enough to blow by defenders. Rui's pump fake freezes Randle momentarily here, and Rui is fast enough that Randle can't slide his feet to keep Rui in front. This looks like this should be an easy layup, but notice that Randle keeps his right arm in Rui's face, obstructing his view of the basket. A very savvy defensive move from the first-time All-Star. Porter Jr. tries to recover for the closeout here, but can't then move his feet quickly enough to keep up when Rui commits to the drive. Rui finishes the play with this really delicate left-hand finger roll, and exhibits the great touch that he has with either hand. At ease, driving both left and right, Rui seems almost ambidextrous at times, and this provides him with a lot of flexibility when scoring around the basket. In this play, he sells Middleton left with a quick jab step before driving past baseline. He then finesses a reverse offhand layup between two established 7 feet rim protectors in Giannis and Brook Lopez. Rui has these huge mitts for hands, and he uses either to ensure that he dunks on the opposite side of the defender. In transition, Rui particularly likes this type of running layup, using his offhand and his body to protect the ball. Rui has also occasionally exhibited a Eurostep, but this still feels like a work in progress. The Eurostep can be so effective due to its aggressive change of direction, but Rui's Eurostep currently lacks the lateral movement to sell it effectively, nor to get fully around the defender. To me, Rui never looks likely to go left here, vastly reducing the efficacy of his Eurostep. At 6'8", 230 pounds, Rui can just straight send guys flying on straight line drives. Cody Martin gets bumped into a different dimension here, whilst conceding an and one. Middleton also suffers the same fate, barreled over casually like some bowling pin. When the defender is in good position to contest, Rui's large, shredded frame means he can absorb a lot of contact when making tough shots. However, sometimes these physical drives do get Rui into trouble. He has a propensity to draw charges and must be more selective about when he puts that shoulder down to initiate hard contact. If the defender already has their feet set and has established position, it is an offensive foul if Rui dislodges them. That said, Rui's malleable, ambidextrous yet physical approach helps him shoot around 3% better than league average around the hoop. In this shot chart you see Rui's even distribution of shots around the rim, adding weight to the analysis that Rui can attack from all angles. Combining that versatile finishing with his ability to handle and push the ball, it's no surprise Rui is a great transition scorer, averaging 1.28 points per possession on 3 transition possessions per game, per Synergy data. This places Rui into an elite category of transition players, posting identical efficiency to Zion and actually greater efficiency than 2-time MVP Giannis. He is 82nd percentile amongst players with a minimum of 10 games and 10 transition attempts. Of course, Cherry-picking stats like this reminds us that statistics need to be taken within relevant context. In the basketball world, where volume and efficiency tend to be inversely correlated, Giannis's 1.21 points per possession on a league-leading 7.1 possessions per game is just incredible. The next closest pair to Giannis in terms of transition volume is Russell Westbrook, but his efficiency is rather low, placing him in the 25th percentile. And this is all before we consider that opposing teams will change their defensive strategies and coverages to minimise Giannis's transition threat. Toronto was really good at containing Giannis on transition opportunities last year in the playoffs. That's 4 defenders collapsing onto Giannis's drive. Although that doesn't matter in this instance, and Giannis still scores. He isn't just a 2-time MVP for show. Speaking of Giannis, that's Rui really easily bumping Giannis to create separation. Rui uses that bulky frame to jog defenders off balance, so they can't contest his mid-range game so effectively. The mid-range game is Rui's bread and butter, and he hits uncontested shots around the foul line automatically. He loves to get defenders moving backwards before popping from the elbow. Since joining the NBA, he's often called upon a cheeky step-back move as well. The fadeaway is another one of his calling cards, that aerial body control prizing open just enough space to hit a tough shot over Morris. I particularly like this gorgeous turnaround fadeaway that he goes to sometimes, and I don't think I've ever seen one of these blocked. Rui's affinity for the mid-range isn't necessarily all good news, however. He sometimes settles for tough mid-range shots, rather than attacking the rim aggressively. We've seen that Rui has the ability to get past Middleton a number of times in this video already, and at this point in the ball game, where every possession counts, and with 14 seconds left on the shot clock, Rui must be more patient and hunt for a better shot than a contested fadeaway step back from a really tough angle. You can see Westbrook's thoughts about this play in the bottom corner. I hope to see Rui consistently maintain attack mode whenever he's in the game. If Rui puts his mind to it, he's a powerful driving force. Notice how even on this play, he only really considers attacking once he can't pass the ball to Beal. Knowing when to defer and when to push should come with more NBA game time, however, so I'm not too worried about this. More importantly though, Rui's familiarity with the mid-range has the unsavoury markings of a potentially inefficient scorer, especially when combined with his reluctance to shoot threes. A slow closeout was enough to run Rui off the 3-point line, and far too often, Rui avoided threes even if he's completely wide open. He often did this thing where he pump faked out the 3-point line before running into a long 2. Bearing in mind that statistically open 3-point shots are much more valuable than long 2s, Rui was essentially tanking his own efficiency. Rui's hesitancy to shoot the 3 also limited the offensive spacing of his team. Defenders could afford to sag off and help off Rui like this, as they knew Rui wasn't a threat from distance. Look at how these two defenders can clog the lane, as their respective marks aren't good 3-point shooters. Here, Westbrook's drive is hampered by help from Toppin. In these situations, nearly all teams will prioritise Westbrook's drives, as they know Rui doesn't punish good looks from 3 yet. In 48 games in his first season, Rui only hit 28.7% of his 87 3-point attempts, and nearly all on catch-and-shoot threes. Unlike his mid-range, however, for much of Rui's time in the NBA, his inconsistent 3-ball mechanics have been problematic, as repeatable shooting form breeds both accuracy and precision. Just have a look at Rui's legs on these shots. In his first year and early on in his second, there were phases when Rui either kicked both legs forwards or split them apart, and his 3-ball exuded a feeling of unreliability. On the other hand, when he keeps his legs underneath his body, like he does with his 2-point shot, his mechanics look better and his shot more stable. And although I haven't looked at the data in a huge amount of depth, it feels as if Rui strokes threes in rhythm during clutch moments late in matches, essentially situations where he doesn't have the time to overthink things. In 52 games in his second season, Rui's 3-ball has seen small but definitive progress. He has shot the 3 2.4 times per game at 33.1% clip, increases in both volume and efficiency compared to his first season. However, further development and consistency with his 3-ball is the key to unlocking his full offensive potential as a 3-level scorer. He can increase both his scoring and efficiency by punishing defenders when they leave him open. His dribble will also become more potent, as defenders won't be able to drop as far, making it easier to turn the corner. They will also have to commit to closeouts more, leaving them more susceptible to bite on Rui's pump fakes. On a team with other non-shooting starters, ameliorating his outside game will help the team spacing drastically, whilst magnifying Rui's on-court passive value and gravity as an offensive threat. If Rui can elevate his 3-point percentage to above league average, I think that, combined with his monstrous transition threat and smooth mid-range, will probably make him at least an all-star level scorer on its own. AD, eat your heart out. As Rui becomes more comfortable from NBA range, I eventually expect him to try pull-up attempts, as he currently does with his mid-range. This is a hezzy 3 that Rui made during a summer league game. If Rui starts to pop these, the league really better watch out. Next time I'll be covering the other key parts of Rui's offensive game, how he operates in the post, the pick and roll, as well as his potential as a playmaker, to name a few. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed my content today, please consider subscribing and liking for more. Cheers.